Hello, and welcome to Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses, the podcast where you will discover all the latest and greatest digital marketing tools, tips, and strategies you will need to implement in order to stay ahead of your competition. If you are not getting the results you are looking for from your digital marketing efforts, this is the podcast for you. And now, here's the host of our show, the local business guy himself, Frank Deming.
Hello, everyone. This is Frank Deming, the local business guy, and welcome to another episode of Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses. Happy Hump Day, happy Wednesday, everyone. I hope you guys are having a rockin' week thus far. Today, I want to talk to you about some digital marketing trends that I want you to get ahead of in 2022. We're already in our third month, I want you guys to really pay attention to certain things that are happening in the industry so you're ahead of the game always. That is the whole premise of this podcast, folks, for you to be ahead of the trends so you can start really getting an impact on what's going on in the digital marketing world. So for all of you, loyal listeners, I want you to really pay attention to this. I want you guys to share this episode with people that you know that could probably benefit from this, who are in business themselves, and who are who probably need to know this, quite frankly. So, before I get into the content, I wanted to remind you that if you are a local business anywhere here in the continental U.S., I want you to head on over to my website, lbmsllc.com. And in the landing page, in the home page, you will see a green button on one of the sliders that says Get Your Online Presence Report. I want you guys to get your free online presence report. That is a very important practice that you need to start doing today, because online presence is everything. So how are you showing up online? If you're having a difficult time getting traction online, let's say you're trying to do it yourself and you're not getting the traction that you think you should be getting by now, it could be something wrong with the way you are appearing online, something that you don't know about. You can't fix what you can't see. And that's what that report is going to help you with. It's going to help you fix it. So rather you're going to fix it by yourself once you know what it is, or you hire someone to fix it, at least you have the report in your wheelhouse to know what to fix in the first place. All right. So head on over there right now and grab your online presence report. So I also put a link to it on the show notes. All right. So let's go on with these digital marketing trends. There are actually 9 that I want to, there are a few, but there are actually these 9 that are very, very powerful that I think you need to start doing like right away. The number one trend that's happening and is making headways and is really making people a lot of money, quite frankly, in this industry is short DIY videos. So basically, this whole TikTok thing just took off, and it's kind of shifted the landscape of a lot of the social media platforms. So if you've noticed, because TikTok has these short form videos, has some do-it-yourself stuff and all that. I think the most you can do with TikTok is 3 minutes now. It used to be just 60 seconds, if you believe it or not. Now they're going up to 3 minutes, but it's still short form videos. And it's such a powerful thing, and it did so well that it kind of caused Instagram to jump on the bandwagon with its reels now. And actually YouTube is doing these things where it's called shorts. I don't know if you guys heard about it. I know you guys probably seen the Instagram reels because that's been very popular, but YouTube is now in the whole thing. It's called shorts. So, it's a really big trend now. It's making people, is creating more of a buzz, creating awareness to your business. So I really think you should start thinking about some short DIY videos for your business. So everything here's my take on why it took off so much. Number one is I think it's because we're living in a short attention span world. So everything is fast paced now. Everybody doesn't have time to really read content. Everybody, and so if you want to be seen, you gotta have some kind of reel or TikTok video or YouTube short that's going to bring awareness somehow to your business. Hopefully, not hopefully. If you're doing the targeting correctly, you will bring it to the right people in your industry, and then you just start collecting leads that way or collecting shares, because a lot of people are sharing things, and as they share it and expand your reach. So do it DIY videos is the number one trend. Number two trend is tell a real story. Now, we talked a little bit about this earlier this year in one of our episodes in January with the great Barbara Govednik, and it was a whole episode dedicated to telling stories. So, here's the point: storytelling is always a key for brand marketing, period. All right. So when it comes to selling your product in a say modern landscape, like today's landscape, most of the consumers are tired of just hearing about, how you, the brand, believe your goods and services are better than the competition. So, and Barbara broke this down in beautifully. So if you don't, maybe what I'll do is I'll put a link to in the show notes to that episode. So maybe you can check that out again, because she really had a really good way of doing it. Because the bottom line is that they want to know, your potential consumer, they want to know how have you delivered on your promises in a way that has lived up to their needs and expectations. That is the bottom line. That's what they want to know. So that's what I mean by tell a real story. That's really the trend. It's not so much storytelling, it's telling a real story. And anyway, so that's a huge trend that's been happening. It started happening around December of last year, to be honest with you. And I see it still growing pretty profoundly. Number three, you want to focus on your audience. Okay, over a year of like say lockdowns, right, that we had, social media users has grown what's called social media fatigue. Okay, and it's actually sometimes been caused depression. Because it's this whole constant thing that's showing up on your feed, on your news feeds, on whatever social media platform that you're using. It doesn't really matter. But this is becoming a problem. So the thing is that some have even bitten the bullet, right? And some have even deactivated their accounts. I saw a thing not too long ago on the internet about how people are deactivating their accounts because of social media fatigue. So for those of you who have remained on the face of, like, say, heavy stream of ads and campaigns and news that basically flood their social feeds, it's basically what's happening. It has saturated the market, and that's pretty much an understatement at this point. I'm not saying that social marketing doesn't work anymore. Social marketing still works, but it's become a saturated thing. So we got to focus on your audience now. That's the trend now. And, you just got to be kind of like mindful of what's going on with your audience, kind of thing. You got to be mindful of it now. And by focus on the audience, what I'm talking about here is you got to understand, I always talk to you guys about doing your due diligence on your audience. What are they looking for? So do your research. Do your research, and you want to focus your strategy on engaging your existing audience and building your database with what they find engaging. So you gotta do your research based on that. So it's no longer, bombarding your audience with content. It's really all about giving them what they're looking for and putting it in front of their face. If you're not doing that, the social game is not going to work for you anymore. And I'm afraid for that. I don't want that to happen to you. I want you guys to crush it on social. Social is very, very important in the digital marketing landscape, but you got to do it correctly. And that's what, the number 3 trend is focus on your audience. So make sure that you don't flood them with everything that everyone else is doing. Don't follow what the masses are doing. Get a consulting, get in front of a consulting person. I mean, we offer consulting for you. I mean, if you're interested in that. So get in front of somebody who's a digital marketing expert that can actually help you work things out like that. So that's number 3. Number 4, privacy, transparency, and trust building is a huge trend now in digital marketing. So the bottom line is that digital advertising is an overload, and it's making consumers even more suspicious of the content that they're targeting, that they're targeted with, let's say, because everything now is trackable and all that stuff. So this is the reason why in 2022, digital marketers should be actually preparing for tighter privacy and restrictions that will, basically alter the way that can track their users' behavior. Okay, so Google actually announced that curtailing a third-party cookies by 2023 is something that's happening. So this is going to mean that the marketers and the advertisers are going to need to reevaluate their strategies. And this is where we come in as digital marketers. This is why you want to partner up with an LBMS, a local business marketing solutions, because we can understand. I'm giving you this information because I know that in 2023, I have to up my game somehow to continue helping my customers. If I don't do that, I can lose customers, right? But you have to know how to do it as well. So consult with people like an LBMS, consult with, someone that that's in the industry that actually understands how to be in front of your audience at all times and understand these changes and privacy changes and all this stuff that's going on so they can be ahead of the curve. Okay. So this is a huge trend. And it's something that we are already doing because we know it's coming in 2023. We know it's going to be pretty much mandated in 2023, so we're getting ahead of the curve now. So number 5 is personalization. Personalization is going to play a big role in 2022. Okay, it's going to play a big role here this year. Okay, rather than catch all content that casts, like say, a huge wide net in the hope that it appeals to as many people as it can. If you create a specific advertising that caters to your audience, that's going to generate more fruitful results, and that's always been the case. And this has always been our approach, but it's becoming more and more the way to do it. But you also got to remember, and this is what I tell my clients, okay, it's not just the content you need to get right, okay? You want to make sure that your audience receives those like advertising things at the right time and the right place, okay? Because that's really crucial. That's really crucial for the engagement, okay? And then it's going to help with this whole, oversaturated landscape that a lot of people are experiencing. Okay, so that's very, very crucial. That's very, very important that you know that you have to have the tools to understand it. So personalization is another trend for 2022. Number 6 is you want to content segmentation. Okay, segmentation. Excuse me. So that's been huge. I've talked about this, pretty much ad nauseum many times with my customers. But here's the bottom line. Segmentation has been around for a while, really. And most will use them for like segmenting, say, customers, which means to target customers with similar demographics and shared interests. And it's common, it's pretty much a common practice to have segmentation for forums and communications like newsletters, e-newsletters, news and updates, offers and promotions, right? But here's the thing, moving forward, moving beyond the standard opt-in or outstanding opt-in or opt-out marketing strategies, a lot of local brands should be thinking to maybe more detailed and maybe consider actually tagging of their email content that allows a user to actually opt out of receiving certain kinds of content. But even if they opt out of receiving certain kinds of content, they probably didn't opt out of your whole list. But they're probably interested in different types of content. So you want to give them that option. That's a very important thing, because that way they're receiving things that they want to receive consistently, and that actually ups your email open rate as well when you do stuff like this. So we want to give them that opportunity to opt out of stuff that they don't want, because you don't want to be sending them stuff that they don't want to read. So that's number 6. Number 7 is conversational marketing and quality interactions. Very, 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 very important. I've talked about this also ad nauseum, but it's a huge trend now. You want to have conversational marketing, not in your face stuff. You want to try to engage your audience. A lot of times I always try to, even on this podcast, I always say, hey, let's make this interactive. What do you think about this episode? How can you share this episode to someone else, with someone else that you think is going to impact? Hey, give me feedback. Do you like this? Have you implemented this, what I've talked about? This is why at the end of each quarter, I try to talk about, hey, what are the things that you're doing? How can we help you move forward for the next quarter, so you know that the next quarter is actually better than the last quarter, etc., etc. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing conversational marketing and requesting quality interactions. I do that in my social posts as well. Those of you who follow me on social media, mostly the people who follow me on social media is LinkedIn, because that's the one I do the most. But you don't want those bots. You don't want those those bots that pop up and do this, because that's not really doing quality interactions. Okay, so that's a huge distinction there. Number 8, artificial intelligence in digital marketing is a huge trend, folks. See, the thing is that in recent years, the advancements with AI has actually led to more interactive reporting, and say automating, general marketing tasks, like say monitoring site traffic and boosting search engine optimization for organic reach. But rather than focus on what we already gained from AI, it's actually time now to look to the future and how it impacts digital marketing as a whole. So let's dig deep a little bit on this, because this is something that's near and dear to my heart. This is something that I've implemented here in 2022. We started doing this, we started actually doing it towards the tail end of last year in 2021. But we went full bore ahead with it in 2022. So let's pay attention to this, because now I got some data. We're about 4 months in, and I've got some actual data that I want to share with you. Well, not data, but I want to share with you some of the results that I've gotten. So as the AI technology is advancing, So do the capabilities moving forward, like automated tasks and automated campaigns, and being able to, I'm actually able now to predict what customers are likely to want next. So AI has the ability to actually analyze more data, actually quicker than any human can ever do. So this is the reason that it's able to take like the large data that's there to analyze, and the purchase history and behavior of the customers. So then we're able to suggest a specific item, or offer even a personalized advertisement piece. And that's what we've been doing with AI. So using AI to predict your customer's next move means you can target them with the product or service they need right when they need it. Okay. This kind of targeting will lead to, like, say, very, very high conversion rates, in the sense that you kind of understand your customers and their needs without being intrusive. Okay, because you know that they're looking for this. So we use a piece of technology that it's a high end product that we've been promoting for our customers, that it actually does all of this for you. So it takes a little while to build, because you have to build your audience. So it takes about 3 months to build. But while you're building, you're actually gaining traction as well. You're actually getting some customers as well. But when you're able to market to them the moment they're ready to buy from you, that's an enormous thing. That's a tremendous thing. And it's been working well for attorneys. It's been working well for dentists. It's been working well for chiropractors. It's been working well for HVAC companies. A plethora of different industries. Again, we started playing around with it late last year. We did a beta test. I think it was in October of 2021. We did a soft launch in December of 2021, and then we did the final hard launch January of this year, and it's really been doing well. So one of the trends is artificial intelligence, and using it the right way in digital marketing. So if you're out there trying to get that done, that's something that if you want to play around with it and you have nowhere to start, give us a call. Okay, 888-416-7752, or you can also send us an email, of course, at info@lbmsllc.com. We've been messing around with this for now, like I said, 4 months. Well, actually more than 4 months if you talk about the soft launches that we had. But anyway, here we go. So the last thing that's a huge trend in digital marketing here in 2022 is NFTs and crypto in social media e-commerce. I've noticed this trend going, and it's pretty interesting. Even if you don't invest in crypto, it's been a huge rise of online currencies. And then NFTs have been near impossible to miss over the past few years, actually. So on the surface, though, it might not sound like a trend that affects your marketing strategy, but that's not the kind of passive thinking that we're here for in 2022, actually. Okay, that's not the passive thinking. This is why I'm mentioning it. I want to create awareness of it for you. So with like the social platforms, like say Twitter, taking steps to integrate cryptocurrency payments, okay, and a rising trend for, like, say, display tools that showcase in app MFT purchases. Now is actually the time to consider how your brand can jump on the bandwagon, and this is why I'm bringing it to you now. I'm bringing it to you early. I want you to jump on all these things that I'm talking about. I want you to jump on the bandwagon now. I don't want you to say, "Hey, Frank, you never told me. I'm listening to the show. You're not educating me." BS. I'm educating you now. Okay. So, because the thing is that Facebook is already promoting the use of NFT display options and avatars and avatars. So we expect to see more and more companies take a step in that direction. So the focus with NFTs and cryptocurrency is to think about how to sell the brand beyond products and services, okay, and potentially the brand itself and the ethos it carries. Okay, so here's a question for you guys. Based on these 9 trends that I talked to you about, here's a question, and here's the interaction piece that I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. Do you think you're ready for digital marketing going, beyond 2022? Here we are in March. Okay, I just gave you a trend that happened in the first, it's been happening since last year, and I'm still following it, and it's growing as a rising trend. So this is the time to jump in. So ask yourself, are you ready for digital marketing here in 2022 and beyond? I'd love to hear from you guys. Send me an email, info@lbmsllc.com. Yeah, just let me know. Are you ready? If you're not ready, I invite you to reach out to us. We'll offer you a free consultation of how we can help you with any of these things that we talked about, or any other digital marketing type of topic that you're curious about and want to jump into. So with that, folks, I am going to put an end to this episode. I hope you got a lot out of this episode. If you did get a lot out of this episode, please share it with someone that you think can also benefit from it. It will be really, really, really good. You'll be doing me a great favor. Anyway, until next week, folks, this has been Frank Deming, the local business guy. Take care, folks, and bye for now. Peace out.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses, the podcast where you will discover all the latest and greatest digital marketing tools, tips, and strategies you will need to implement in order to stay ahead of your competition. Don't forget, any links that were mentioned during the broadcast will be available to you in the show notes, so be sure to grab them while you have the chance. Incidentally, if you have any topics that you would like for us to discuss on the show, be sure to send an email to the email provided in the show notes, or click the Contact Us link and let us know what topic you would like us to help you with, and we'll be sure to add it to our schedule. If you would like for Frank and his team to look at your digital marketing presence and give you a free evaluation, simply click the Request a Free Consultation link in the show notes to get a hold of them. That being said, until our next episode, make it a successful digital marketing day. Peace out.